Hello and welcome back to our FCS Dynasty and NCAA Football 2006. This is episode 2 of our award watch list series, and today we've got the Walter Payton Award Watch, and it is a little different than the real life version. I took the quarterback out of this award and created the Steve McNair Award specifically for that position. So the Walter Payton Award is now for the most outstanding skill position player on offense, so halfback, fullback, wide receiver, and tight end. So it's a little bit different. I just felt like the quarterbacks deserved their own award instead of always winning this one, because that is the majority of the winners in real life. They are mostly quarterbacks. I think there's only been 2 wide receivers. Cooper Kupp was the last one to win, and it's mostly just quarterbacks, so that's really no fun. So we've got our own quarterback award, the Steve McNair Award. So if you haven't watched that video yet, go back and take a look at that. But we are going to take a look at the first 5 players from our 12 schools. Brandon Lee is the first player on the board, the fullback out of Southern Utah. He's had a great season so far. 92 carries, 535 yards, 9 touchdowns, along with 31. And he averages 76.4 yards per game, 241 yards after contact, 5 20-plus yard runs, 21 broken tackles, and 2 fumbles. He also has 8 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown, 61 yards after the catch, and 1 drop on the year. So he's been fantastic for the Thunderbirds this season, and he is our first player on our watch list. Player number 2 on the Walter Payton Award watch list is Brahms North, tight end for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. I tried to get a player from every position available for this award, and Brahms North is definitely deserving. He's got 27 catches for 638 yards on the season, only 2 touchdowns, but he is by far the best tight end in the country right now when it comes to yardage. Yeah, I think he has a lead over the next tight end by about 300 receiving yards. And he has 143 yards after the catch, along with 61, and only 1 drop on the season, so he is very efficient for the Jackrabbits, and he is our second player. Player number 3 on the watch list, it is his teammate, Reinhard Irwindowski. So we've got 2 Jackrabbits on the watch list so far, and he is also very deserving. 25 catches, 608 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns, along with 78, 185 yards after the catch, and 4 drops on the season for Reinhardt, but he has just been an absolute beast. If he catches the ball in the open field, watch out, folks, because he is bound to take it all the way, and he's done it 7 times this season so far. And it does help that he has Lamar Jackson throwing the football to him. And our 4th player on the Walter Payton Award watch list is Brandon Allen, the Bryant Bulldog halfback. He has been outstanding this season. 76 carries, 1,032 yards, 16 touchdowns, along with 91. He's averaging 172 yards per game, 256 yards after contact, 17 20-plus yard runs, 18 broken tackles, and 2 fumbles on the year. He also has 10 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown, 0 drops. 88 yards of that 116 is after the catch. He also has 7 kick returns for 129 yards. Beastin' and feastin'. And our 5th and final player from our 12 schools is MJ Gator Jr. No surprise here. He has been the most outstanding player in the nation so far. 78 carries, 1,155 yards, 18 touchdowns, a longest run of 98 yards. He's averaging 192 yards per game, 308 yards after contact, 17 20-plus yard runs, 11 broken tackles, 4 fumbles though. He's got to learn how to hold on to the ball a little bit better. He also has 14 catches for 265 yards, 4 touchdowns, 231 of those yards are after the catch, and he has 1 drop on the season. But that is our 5 players from our 12 FCS schools. Now we're going to get into the top 5 players around the nation from all the other FCS schools for you guys to vote for. And player number 1 from Samford, Michael Slater, halfback number 25. He's ran the ball 128 times this season for 642 yards, 9 touchdowns, along of 63. He averages 91.7 yards per game. He's got 174 yards after contact, 120-plus yard run, and that was that long 63-yarder. 20 broken tackles on the season, 0 fumbles. He also has 11 catches for 252 yards. and 3 kick returns for 63. So a very efficient player, doesn't turn the ball over, and has quite a bit of yards on the year. Billy McBride, wide receiver for Sam Houston State, has 72 catches, which is good for number 1 in the country, including FBS schools. And he has 770 yards, 5 touchdowns, 392 yards after catch, and 82 yards off of 4 kick returns on the season. And 0 drops. That is probably the most impressive stat. 72 catches, 0 drops for the Bearcats. Mark Williamson, number 3 wide receiver for the Northeastern Huskies. He has 66 catches for 1,051 yards, 10 touchdowns on the season. He is number 1 in the country in receiving yards, and that is also including the FBS schools. He has 3 drops on the year, though, 843 yards after catch, and a long of 82. On returns, he has 1 punt return for a touchdown, 181 yards, and 428 kick return yards, so a very elite talent. Vic Cook, wide receiver for Arkansas Pine Bluff, 58 catches, 863 yards, 12 touchdowns on the season, and that is actually number 1 for FCS schools, 3rd in the country in all. Only 1 drop on the year, and he has a lot of return yards as well, 543 kick return yards, 166 on punt returns, but no touchdowns. Our final player, Tyrone Gates, halfback for William and Mary, has 839 yards rushing on the season on 159 carries, 5 touchdowns, a long of 81. He's averaging 119.8 yards per game, has 163 yards after contact, 3 20-plus yard runs, 33 broken tackles, which is top 10 in the entire country, including FBS schools. 1 fumble on the year, 6 catches, 160 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 drop. So a lot of talent at the FCS level in our dynasty. And that is it. I hope you guys vote on the polls. There will be 2 separate polls, one for our 5 teams, or our 5 players from our 12 teams, and another poll for the other 5 players from around the nation. Be sure to vote on both of those polls so I can tally up all the votes and see who's going to advance later on in the season. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Tomorrow will be another created award, and I will be doing the same thing I did yesterday and today. I will be premiering that video, and let me know in the comments section below what time you guys would want to watch that video live with me. But this one is going to be out around 3 o'clock, so I hope to see you guys then. Take it easy, guys.